We are in Kanyangapus, where we've been able to construct a sand dam to serve the community with water. This community is a highly water-stressed area, and there's a lack of water, and the community used to travel up to a distance of 30 kilometers for them to be able to access water. So the reason why we were able to come up with the idea of sand dam here is because the boreholes in this area, most of the times we were hitting dry wells, and again also the water quality for the boreholes is not good. So we came up with the idea of coming up with the sand dam, where sand dam we are just able to construct a wall across the river catchment for us to be able to store like a reservoir upstream the wall, so that the sand collected can be able to store more water in, and we are able to fit infiltration galleries, which is able now to tap the stored water from the reservoir now to a sump well, which we've been able to construct downstream, and from there we've been able to install it with a hand pump, and the community can be able now to access water. The capacity we have is 2.1 cubic meter per hour, which is sufficient enough for the community needs, for drinking, for cooking, for washing, and also to serve the livestock, for watering the livestock. So in a nutshell, sand dam is just basically to store water upstream by just having a wall across the river catchment. And upstream we have a square kilometer of 110 square kilometer, which we are able to abstract around 75,000 cubic meter of water, which is stored in the sand. Another advantage is that this is a very hot weather, and most of the time, even after it rains, there's a lot of evaporation. But now with the concept of sand dam, we are able to store water inside the sand well, and it doesn't evaporate, and it is able to serve the community for a period of 6 to 9 months after the rains. Thank you. Yeah, as we've talked about the available technology for this area because of the geophysical nature of the formations in this area. When you do a borehole, the boreholes you hit dry boreholes. So they are dry wells. You don't get sufficient water to cater for the community water needs, and then and then the water quality also for those particular wells and boreholes are not safe. So that's why we choose, because when it rains, there's quite a lot of surface runoff, which you can now be able to tap into it by storing it inside the sand. It filters through, and through that you can now be able to deliver it. And of course, we don't have any other major dam here, which will also require quite a huge finances for us to be able to construct a dam. But this is cost effective and is able to serve the community throughout the dry spell. Yeah, the sand dam is only relies on the concept of storing water inside the sand, because even when we walk along the river, most of the time you will find the community digging sand for them to reach water inside the sand, and that is how they are able to access water. So other dams are able, you do the excavation so that you can be able to store water, but for this one you are storing water inside the sand. So when during dry season you cannot be able to see water, but you are surprised to see community fetching water until the next rainy season. Yeah, this technology has been practiced over. It started in Kitui, and we've been able to have it in other parts of Turkana. And when it is properly done, the community can be able to get water. It's only that the quantity of water may not be much enough, but in areas where we have salinity, we have like dry wells, and we do not have any other source of water, we go for either sand dam, or we can also be able to do rock catchment technology, where we can be able to make use of rock to tap in the rainwater and store it in underground tanks.
Thank you very much. Maybe lastly, for a person who has never seen a sand dam, just from where you are standing without moving, I just want you to point which is the barrier, which is the infiltration gallery, which is the sump, which is the pump, from where we are standing.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. From where we are standing, you can see the wall which we've been able to construct across the river. It stretches 3 meters down, and upstream of the wall, we've been able to have an infiltration gallery, which is more of just perforated pipe, buried deep inside the sand just to be able to recharge, and the water flows into that pipe and it is able to go down up to the sump well where we have the community currently drawing water, and we've been able to fit it with the hand pump. So the idea is just to have water flow into the galleries that is deep inside the sand, and then we take it now to the sump well. The sump well is 10 meter deep, and it can be able to hold around 7 cubic meter at any time. So once the community are able to draw water from the sump well, it recharges by itself because water is in the reservoir.